Today we're going to talk about, this is going to be my new 2012 Honda Ridgeline. I'm actually still on demo period now, but on Monday it'll all be official and it'll be mine. I just wanted to walk people through some features of this truck. The more I drive it and use it and play with it, the more I think this is like the perfect rig for us. We have a family of 3 with a dog, maybe towing a small camper, a small boat, going to the dump on the weekends, general kind of stuff. So I don't need a heavy hauler. I don't need a Super Duty or anything. I just need a truck with a 4-wheel drive system or all-wheel drive system that'll get me through the winter and take stuff to the dump and tow the odd trailer around. So this is perfect. So I'm going to walk you around a little bit and show you some of the features. I'm sure maybe you know about some of them, but some of the other ones are pretty cool actually too. So just kind of walk you around. This is it. This is a 2012. It's actually only got 99,400 kilometers on it. So I got a great deal from Brockville Hyundai. Dane Fellows is the dealer principal there. Fantastic guy to talk to. So if you're interested in the vehicle, Dane Fellows at Brockville Hyundai, fantastic to deal with. So anyways, you guys probably, most of you know if you're watching this video about the dual action tailgate. Of course it does go down like that. It also, of course, swings open like that. Again, most of you probably know this, but there is an in-trunk tailgate, or trunk, I'm sorry. So this is massive. There is a drain plug down there, so you can wash it all out, and all the water can go out. People talk about putting ice and drinks and stuff in there. Of course, I haven't done that yet, but it is available. There are also little slots here where you can actually put little piece of wood, maybe to separate it into sections if you wanted to. The spare tire is also in here, and it's on a sliding system, so it doesn't get all rusty and hard to change. So anyways, that's pretty cool. The other cool thing is that when you open the tailgate, the lights automatically illuminate, so both in there in the side of the bed and up in the cab corners. The other night I had stuff in here at nighttime, and these lights here shone right into the trunk compartment, and it was very easy to see what I was doing. Kind of a composite bed, so it's almost like a box liner is already on there. Yeah, these are prone to scratch a little bit, but at the same time, there's no box like bed liner or plastic liner or anything else. They come like that from the factory. The other cool thing, and I did a lot of research before I'm buying this, is that the wheel wells are very, very short and shallow. So you can actually get a 4x8 sheet of plywood or gyprock right in between these on either side. Then you put the tailgate down. People do say, oh, it's a short box, da, da, da. Yeah, it's 5 foot, but when you put the tailgate down, it's like 6.5. So you can still easily strap a load in. That's the least of my concerns. Up at the front, they have these little 3 notches you can see. Those are supposed to be for like dirt bike wheels, the front wheels of like a dirt bike or a motocross bike. I don't have those, but it's kind of a cool thing that Honda thought about. Obviously, they're thinking that the owners of these might have Honda dirt bikes or Honda ATVs or whatever. So anyways, they do have tie-down cleats built right into the bed. That's the front 2. Then there's 2 at the back. And guys, this is a DX model. This is like the basic plain Jane kind of truck. And it basically comes with like everything. The inside, of course, is not going to have all the amenities on the inside, but on the outside, basically the same rig as you're going to get like in the Sport and everything else. Don't quote me on that. There could be slight changes, but anyways. In here, tons of room in the back. So the seat is essentially at my driving position. If I get in, I've got lots of room in here, and you might not believe me on the video, go sit in one. Go find a buddy or somebody that has one, and you'll find that, I mean, I'm about 5'10", so at my average driving position, a person of 5'10" or 6 foot or whatever is gonna have tons of room in the back too. So a family, we have one small child, gonna be 4 soon, my wife and I, and we have a dog. So really this vehicle's ideal for us. Here you can pull the handle, these come up, and again it's a 60-40 split, so the other one does that. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to take the car seat out, but you got tons of space in here. This little channel is just because these here fit in it. I have heard rumor, and I haven't tried it, that if you put a bicycle in here, maybe the tires kind of fit very well in there. I haven't tried that yet, but it's an idea. Rear vents in the back, a rear light, so when the doors are open, that little rear light illuminates, which I think is just a nice little add-on. You've got pockets on the back of each seat. The rear doors, speakers in the rear doors, cup holders on that side, of course, and the center console comes down, and there's cup holder and a little tray. It's pretty nice and soft in here. The seats are pretty, like, the seats are good quality. I know that the previous owner of this had a dog, so they're a little bit weathered, but really they've held up pretty well. It's 8 years old now. So again, this is just the DX, so it's the kind of the plain Jane version, but still has a lot of great features. Heated mirrors, of course electric mirrors, lock, unlock. One of my favorite features is it has auto up and down on the driver's side window. I love it. Most of them have auto down, but some don't have auto up, and I like having auto up. The back window is power, so there is a back window right there, and it does power slide back and forth with that. It's right with the rest of the window controls, which makes perfect sense. When we go inside the cab, basically you've got a traction control button down here. You actually have to touch and hold it for about a second or so before it activates, just so you don't accidentally touch it. Your light controls are right here. It'll tell you if it's on. The cargo light is right here. Dimmer is up here for all your lights on the bezel, I guess. Again, this is the plain Jane one, so I do not have radio controls over here. Well, I'll just have to do it the old school way and reach over and touch the knob. Cruise control is on the wheel. I love the knobs on this thing, and I know that sounds funny to say, but I love the fact, like, they're a really nice material. They're a nice, like, squishy kind of rubber. They move perfectly, and each little notch is just really good. I'm really happy with the quality that Honda put into this. A lot of people say that these are very sparse interiors. I like it. It's clean. It's usable. Every inch is usable. So yeah, you've got a little compartment in here. You've got a compartment down here. You've got another compartment down here. This is the center console. This is the armrest. It actually moves forward and backwards. You have 2 cup holders, space in there. Then you slide that, there's space in there, and then you slide that, and there's more space back there. So awesome use of space. I actually utilized that today. I had a cup in the cup holder, like a travel mug. I needed to put it somewhere. Put it in there, slid this back, and had room for my coffee and my wife's coffee in the drive-thru. So it actually does work. Up here, these trays are a really nice kind of rubbery material, so stuff doesn't really slide around in those. They work great. So you throw stuff in there, and it's kind of nice and grippy. It doesn't really move around too much at all. The glove box is a nice size. Manual is in there right now. These grab handles are pretty cool too, actually. So when you close the door, you can actually, there's a separate grab handle instead of always grabbing the door. It kind of gives you a closer point of contact to grab. Maybe a little bit kind of gimmicky, but I like them. What else? It's one stock for everything. So all your turn signals and your lights, your turn signals and your wipers are all on one stock. Your lights are down here on this one. You can press that one for your cargo lights in the back. You can also turn your interior lights on with this button here, on, door, and off. I like the size of the buttons. I like the way they feel. They click nicely. Again, it's like a Honda thing. Even the power outlets, the covers are just nice. They're not cheap. On your upper end ones, you're gonna have like heated seats and stuff are gonna be in these here. When you utilize your fan and your controls on here, there's gonna be a little like a little person or whatever, a little picture that shows you what you've selected. The AC blows really nice and cold. So yeah, that works really well. The shifter is a column shifter. Some people complain about that. I like the column shifter. Yeah, I like it. There is a D3 function here. I haven't used that yet, of course. Apparently it's mostly for like kind of really extreme towing in really mountainous regions. It'll hold third gear, but what I've been told about this vehicle is that really you just let the transmission do the work and it kind of sorts everything out. So the dash layout is really simple. You've got your RPM here, your speedometer here, your heat gauge here, and your fuel gauge over here. Right here, you have your VTM4 lock, which is you can only use it in first, second, or reverse, and up to speeds, I think, of about 18 kilometers an hour. I might be wrong, but right around there. And it, of course, kind of locks your four-wheel drive system in to give you maximum traction if you're stuck or something like that. You've got your trip button. That's your A, B kind of trip. And then the select is going to rotate through your like liters per 100 in this case. This is a Canadian truck. So liters per 100, distance to empty, like so your range. And it'll also give you your oil life. So it'll tell you what percentage of oil life you have left. So yeah, anyways, we can quickly open the hood here, which is right here. Hood release. We'll go have a peek under the hood. Of course, all of these come with a 3.5 liter V6. Give me a second here while I put the prop rod up. So this is the 3.5 liter Honda VTEC, and actually pretty good engine bay. The only thing I could see is if you had to replace the back 3 spark plugs, it could be a job. But the first 3, really easy to get at. Oil addition, really easy to get at. Of course, it tells you what kind of oil it takes. Your oil check is here, engine oil. Transmission oil check is down there, this yellow one here. Battery, airbox, air intake, you know, all the usual suspects. So your washer fluid, your overflow bottle, power steering, fuses. Oh, the other thing I love too, forgot to mention, the fuse panel here, it just slides really nicely off. It's all labeled, and then it just simply slides back in. There's no kind of like trying to snap it in or losing it. It's just a really nice, laid out, thoughtful idea. That's the engine. The other cool thing is the way you do oil changes on these. I actually just looked up a YouTube video myself and was so surprised how easy it is. So this is the passenger side of the vehicle. Basically, if you go under the headlight, go under the truck, there is very well laid out way to do this. So under here, it actually says engine oil. The drain plug is right here. And then they've placed the oil filter right next to it. So that's your oil filter. Your drain plug is right there. And then of course, like I just showed you, the addition plug, the oil addition is right at the front of the engine. So oil changes are easy in this thing. Very simple to get at. I've just been really impressed, excuse me, this is gonna be loud, with just how well thought out everything is in these vehicles. And again, I know people make fun of these vehicles or tease people, oh, they're not a real truck and they're not this and they're not that. But to be honest, this is like the perfect vehicle for a family like mine. I mean, we're gonna do, like I said, dump runs, maybe a boat, maybe a small camper. Having the lined bed is great. Having the trunk in the bed is awesome. 5,000 pound towing rating on here. These come with, again, this is the plain Jane model, and this one comes with the trailer receiver, 7-pin harness, and now there is already hooked up underneath. I found the wire. There is a wire for a electric brake controller already under the steering wheel. So I'll do my best to show you guys. It's a little bit tight under here, but if you go under here and this is your yellow wire, this is your parking brake, right there. There's a bright yellow wire, you guys can't miss it. And then up in there, there is, right there, up in there, see, there's access to the brake controller, what they call a pigtail, and it's normally wrapped in blue tape. So that is it. You can just see it up in there kind of now, I hope, there. So if you're looking for it, that is where it is. Follow this big yellow wire, and there's the steering kind of mechanism. And then towards the driver's side door, that's the yellow one, and then it's up in there. So that is the pigtail. Excuse me, sorry if the camera went funny. That is where you would plug the electric brake controller in. So anyone that has like a small float trailer or maybe a camper with electric brakes or whatever, we have a small tandem axle trailer that has electric brakes, so we're going to utilize that. I got to get a controller. But yeah, I'm just really very happy so far with this vehicle. It's going to get all plated up and everything on Monday. And yeah, it's just been a really cool vehicle for our kind of family and what we're going to do. So hopefully if you guys are looking for one, this is giving you some ideas. Oh, the other cool thing, I mean, I found this on YouTube again too, is with the remote, this is the key. If you press the unlock button twice and hold it, all the windows go down. So maybe on a hot day, when you think, oh man, it's really getting smoking hot in my vehicle, you can do that, and it opens up all the windows and kind of lets some air in, and vents your vehicle out. And but yeah, anyways, I thought it was it's the perfect vehicle for us. It's going to be so good, and we're really looking forward to living with it for the next little while and see what kind of versatility it gives us and what we can get up to with it. So thanks so much for watching, folks, and yeah, hopefully this answered a few questions and was a good overview on a 2000 and this is a 2012, but I believe they haven't really changed too much. 2012, 2014 grill styling changed. There's been some mile per gallon like slight changes, but essentially 06 to 14 are very similar. So anyways, hopefully this was enjoyable for you folks, and maybe you got something out of it. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to like and subscribe, that's cool. I'm not really into this to make a channel, but just to educate some folks. So thanks so much. Bye-bye.